Alrighty, well welcome to the first of my tutorials in regards to sketching, and what we're going to do for this first sketching activity is actually fold the page in half twice. So to do that, it's pretty simple. We fold the page in half twice, and what this does is it actually gives us 4 sections for us to sketch in. So don't be too perfect, don't worry about it getting perfectly in the corners. And what we're going to do with this these 4 quadrants is we're going to practice a different skill for each quadrant. To start with, I'm going to use my HB pencil, anywhere from a 2H to a 2B, maybe even a 4B would be fine. I like the HB because it gives me a middle of the road. It's nice and sharp, ready to rock and roll. So in this first section, I'm going to be doing straight lines, and this is all about us practicing getting the mechanics of your arm and shoulder. So posture is everything when you're sketching, so sitting up nice and straight and drawing nice straight lines is all about using mechanical memory. So training your body to draw straight lines is what we're currently doing. No rulers allowed, no erasers allowed. Alright, here we go. So I'm looking to where I want it to go. So start my line and draw across the page like so. And obviously you can practice your pencil weight to see how dark it is as you go. That's alright. And I want to keep them reasonably close, but don't be silly. But the idea is that it's one line all the way across the page, one attempt, and I'm remembering to look at where I'm going. Now turn my page, a critical part to doing with sketching and skill to learn. Constantly turning the page. Now I'm going to go at 90 degrees and draw my lines at 90 degrees and just look where I'm going always. And this is about teaching your arm, shoulder and the mechanics. Remembering sitting straight up in your chair is actually a very, very important skill in sketching. And alrighty, so I've got that whole quadrant finished. So onto another quadrant now. I'm going to practice a very similar skill, but because I want to break you away from just following the pattern that piece of paper is, we're actually going to go on an angle across this page, or this quadrant now. So we're just, again, you've got to look to where you think you're going, and again it's using, you start to develop a muscle memory as you do these sketches. So the more you do of these, the better you get. You might find your first one is not great. Practice a few. So I didn't like that little bit just there, where I've gone on a whippy doody. Alright, so this next one, again 90 degrees to that past one, and again we're just going to finish what I'd call cross-hatching this page off. Alright, so it's all about making sure that I try and keep them similar and looking to where I'm going. Good posture and training my arm for some straight line muscle memory. Alrighty, so let's put those two together now. We've done on an angle, we've done them following the quadrant shape. So on this page I want us to develop some squares. We're just going to draw squares on this page. But the same thing, we're going to use that muscle memory and actually just do lines that are the same. So turning the page is the key with this. They should always be a horizontal line. So you just got to draw horizontal lines every time. So it requires you to turn the page. Learning to turn the page is a really big part. That's why I don't like sketchbooks. I like individual sheets of paper, because a sketchbook means that you're kind of stuck on the pad and you get the spline gets in the way. So I've gone backwards there, which is a bit naughty of me. It's something you can start to do. Now there's obviously sketches out there that don't need to do that because they would do something like that, but as you develop your skill you can move to that. This one's about you just keeping those horizontal lines and turning the page. It's all about turning the page. You can cheat, but that will not train you. It's about the turning of the page. Rote learning they call it. It's very good for you. And the more you practice that, the better you get. Now this last quadrant, we're going to change it right up. We're going to need this skill a little bit later on when we're designing our rubber band car. So I'm actually going to do a little bit of more design with this. And we're going to create some circles. And the idea is, I can kind of work my hand into the feeling of the shape. But what I want to do is where I start my pencil, I want to keep my eye on that spot. Keep it on there so that when I return, it's a perfect circle. It doesn't have to be a round circle, it's about how it connects. See, I got a little gap? Oops, a bit dodgy there, so then I got off bad. Not bad, better, much better. So far I've done one that I like too. You keep practicing. Obviously I need to do a bit more. There's a couple coming off now. Now some people naturally actually do this really well. You should try doing this on the whiteboard. It is quite challenging. If your teacher wants to give you a go at it, you could actually have a little competition to see who could draw the most accurately touching back together first time circle on the whiteboard. It is harder than you think and a whole pile of fun. So I'm just going around that whole page there like so and drawing them. So what I want you to do is to fill those 4 quadrants and practice on the next sheet. Have another sheet of paper. You can use the back side again, 4 more quadrants. The key to this is practice, 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 because the more mechanical, the more automated you can get your hands and your body functions to be able to sketch well, sitting up nice and straight. You will sketch so much quicker, so much better, and it'll come in handy for the other tutorials as we unpack them. Alright, we'll go away and have some fun, take some photos and upload them to your OneNote so your teacher can mark them. Alright, catch you at the next one.